An equation for the total cost, C, in dollars for purchasing L lunch coolers is C is equal to 45 plus 3L. Create a table of points that satisfy this equation. All right, so one way to do this, well, let's just create a table. Let's draw a little table of values here. Now, one question is, which variable do we put where? The way the equation is written, we have C in terms of L. So we would tend to put the L as our first variable, our input, our independent variable, and C is our output, our dependent variable. We will choose values for L, and I'll choose, how about 0, 50, 100, and 150. And then I'll find the appropriate values for C through substitution. So then if L is 0, we would have 45 plus 3 times 0. That's 45 plus 0, that's 45. And then for 50, we'd have 45 plus 3 times 50, 150, 195. Similarly, 45 plus 3 times 100, that would be 345. And then 45 plus 3 times 150, that would be 45 plus 450, that would be 495. Now actually, your calculator is a good tool for this. Your calculator can be used to create tables of values once you know how to use it. First thing we want to do is get our calculator on and go to the y equals screen. And, well, this is similar to having the equation y equals 45 plus 3x, where we tend to think of the x as our L variable. So I will type in 45 plus 3x. Now I'm going to go to my table settings. Now notice the table settings are in that second color above the window key. So I'll hit second in the window key to bring up my table settings. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the independent line, switch that independent line to ask and hit enter. So what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to input certain x values. Now I'm going to go to the table. Notice that the table is the second function of the graph key. So I'll hit second and the graph key, and now it's waiting for me. I'm going to type in some x values. 0, enter. 50, enter. 100, enter. 150, enter. So this is a nice tool to have. All right, let me copy my table. All right, so now we're asked to create a graph. So let me paste that on. So there's my table of values. And now I'm asked to create a graph for the equation using the points. Label your graph with units. So lunch coolers in dollars, we'd have 0.45. Oh, that's wrong. That would be 0.25. 0.45 would be up here somewhere. And then I'd have 50, 195, so that's a little bit under 200. And then I'd have 100, 345. Oops, sorry about that. And then 150, 495. And so notice that those are pretty much in a line. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is draw the line through those points. I guess that looks reasonable. Now your calculator can also be used to do this. We have the calculator up. Let's go back to the y equals screen. Well, that hasn't really changed. But now if we want to see a graph, we need to adjust our window setting. So we hit the window button. So this information here is we have to tell the window, we have to tell the calculator where we want to see the graph. So I'm going to use these same values that are on the axes here. On the x-axis, my x minimum is 0, my x maximum is 150, and I have a scale of 25. On the y's, my minimum is 0, my maximum is 500, and I have a scale of 25 as well, right? Each mark is 25. Now if I graph it, and there's the graph. It doesn't show all the grid lines, but there's the same graph. So remember, for a table, you want to go into the table settings to adjust things. And for a graph, you want to go into the window to adjust things.